Hey guys, my name's Tom Froese. I'm an illustrator and a top teacher on Skillshare, where I've helped tens of thousands of illustrators unlock the world of commercial illustration. I've helped the world of students, people looking to get into illustration. That's what I do. So anyway, really quick video here. I just wanted to answer a question that comes up a lot, which is, do you do mentorships? Do you do mentorships for illustration? People are always looking for someone who can guide them into and through the world of commercial illustration. It's so hard to feel like you've broken in and made connections, and even before that, it's hard just to feel like you're ready. And how do you know if you're ready unless someone further along than you can kind of take a look at what you have and say you're good or you need work? So that's kind of what a mentorship does in a nutshell. And then other people will ask, could you just review my portfolio? Can you take a look at my work and just give me some feedback on it? So a mentorship would be more like, something that happens over the course of a few weeks, over the course of a few months, over a few sessions, where it's more structured and we kind of set goals and we talk about different things like your portfolio. What are you doing for self promo? What is your style? And so you really go deep in that sense. So that's really what a mentorship would be. And then a portfolio review is just what it sounds like. It's usually a half hour or an hour, a session, one time, and you go through your portfolio and you get feedback. And so right now, I don't provide mentorships or portfolio reviews. This is just not something I feel I'm set up to do in a sustainable way. I feel like, yeah, maybe I could do it one off here and there, but then it becomes a matter of when. And I keep busy. So right now, it's my focus where it comes to helping illustrators know where they're at and learn and develop. My focus right now is in teaching on Skillshare. That's really the place where I pour all my effort. And so far that is working for students and it's working for me. And of course, I'm here on YouTube as much as I can be, giving my insights as well. And for those who don't know, I also have a blog at tomfroese.medium.com. So it's my Medium blog where I also have posted tons of articles that are geared toward illustrators who are either aspiring or just struggling through, or just want to read one person's point of view on how to do this thing. So today, what I wanted to do is kind of go through just a handful of mentorship opportunities and portfolio review opportunities. So what I've done is I've put these on my blog. Now, this is not my Medium blog. This is just to be super confusing. This is on my website blog. I decided to put it up there just because it's something that I want to keep coming back to and build up as a list. So I just kind of posted it maybe as more of a test on my own personal blog, but that's a detail. But what I want to do is just kind of open it up here and kind of go through the links and just show you what I'm talking about. So let's open up here. So illustration mentorships, like I said, it's someone who can coach you along over a longer term, over a few sessions. And I found 3 illustration mentorships that you might be interested in if that's what you're looking for. And the first one is the illustration department. So I'll just pop this open. So the illustration department is, they run all kinds of things, but I know them mostly for their podcast, and it's with Giuseppe Castellano. He's an accomplished illustrator based in New York, has worked in the publishing sector, but he offers all kinds of classes and mentorships and workshops. But I wanted to highlight just his 3-month mentorship and his 6-month membership. And these start at $500 US. And so that's just one source of mentorships that I would recommend you look into. Now, just maybe I should have said this like kind of at the beginning. These are not paid advertisements or anything like that. I haven't been paid to or asked at all to talk about these things. These are just my own treasure hunting that I'm bringing to you guys. I doubt the people that I'm reviewing here or I'm not recommending, I'm just suggesting take a look at these. What I'm saying is I don't even know if they know I exist. So that's just kind of like my disclaimer. I'm not recommending these to you. I'm just giving you a sense of what's out there and what I think are worth looking into. I know there's a ton of mentorship type things out there and a ton of portfolio review type things, but these are the ones I would go to and personally trust more than anything else that I've seen so far. So Giuseppe Castellano, illustration department offers these 3 and 6 month mentorships. So that's the first one I would recommend you take a look at. Now, the next mentorship is the Business of Illustrations mentorship. This is a new one for me. I hadn't heard of them until recently, but in some of my research, they came up. And so let's just open this up here. So they do one-on-one consultations, and they're also $500 a pop for 5 sessions. So the difference between this one and the illustration department is, well, for me, it's I know about the podcast, like Giuseppe's illustration department podcast. So I'm just more familiar with them. I'm less aware of who this person is, but I know that the person behind it, his name is Neil Swab, and he's also a New York-based illustrator with lots of accomplishments also. So they offer a very similar thing to what the illustration department is offering: a portfolio evaluation, goal setting, general education, personalized homework, financial guidance, and a promotional campaign, which is really cool. You have like a project, this promotional campaign that you can work toward within the context of this mentorship. So I think that's pretty cool. And then, of course, they have tons of testimonials that you'll probably want to read through and just see what people are saying in the reviews. So lastly, for the mentorships, I found that the AOI, the Association of Illustrators, also offers a free mentorship, and I mean, that's what's unique about this one. It's free. Now, the catch is that it's not for everybody. It's for people who are underrepresented in the illustration industry, and they really leave that open to you to kind of figure out for yourself. Are you underrepresented? Do you feel underrepresented? Whether you're, they list a whole bunch of different criteria, including learning disabilities, illustrators of color, refugees, asylum seekers, LGBTQ, and stuff like that. So if you want to try for a free mentorship and you feel like you're eligible, they have a kind of a simple but rigorous application process here where you're going to submit a cover letter and talk about what your goals are. And another important thing is that this is mostly open to members of the AOI. So the AOI itself is a really handy resource for illustrators who want to be a part of a bigger community and have the support of an organization who's making resources available, helping with things like contracts and legal, not advice probably, but references and resources and stuff like that. I'm not a member of any association, including the AOI, but they are probably the most prominent association of illustrators. I mean, it's in their name, but they're the one that comes to mind the most. I know that there's Society of Illustrators in America, and there's probably the AIGA, which kind of touches on illustration a little bit, but that's more graphic design. But the AOI, to the best of my understanding, they are based in England or at least in Europe. And so anyway, they have this great opportunity for people who may not otherwise have access to a paid mentorship program. So that's just something to look into. But I want to move on from these mentorships to something a little bit more stripped back, a professional portfolio review. For For some, a full mentorship might be overblown, just might be either too rich for their blood or just too much of a time commitment. So the nice thing about a portfolio review is you get like a mini mentorship session. So you're going to talk to someone in the industry, and they're going to look at your portfolio and give you their hopefully honest opinion about what's working and what's not. And they'll give you advice about how to bring it up to the next level. So the first one is 3x3 magazine. They're number one in my mind because I used 3x3's portfolio review service a few years ago, and I found it really helpful. It was really hard because they're really honest. And at the time, I think I was trying to figure out what my thing was, and they were sort of poking holes in the things that I thought my work was good at. And so that was hard, but good. And I actually really recommend that people do hard things like this, like get their portfolios reviewed by professionals who will poke holes in their ego, who will poke holes in the maybe when they have just like a biased view of we have a biased view of our own work. And sometimes it's biased in a way that's too negative, and sometimes it's biased in a way that's too positive. So anyway, 3x3 magazine, they offer 30-minute portfolio sessions, and there's not a lot on their website. It's not even worth really going there. I'll just say that, well, I'll go there just to show you what I mean, at least. So when you go to their events page here, you go to illustration reviews, and then you set up this you register in this way. So basically they have one day a month where they open up their portfolio review service, and they run them all day, and they have half-an-hour slots. And so if you're able to, you register for one of those spots. It seems that these sell out quickly. And fortunately, as of today, October is still open. But yeah, their portfolio reviews start at $45. When I did it a number of years ago, it was only $20. And I've been saying a lot, I think even on YouTube here, like they're only $20, only $20. But at some point, the prices have gone up, which makes sense. And you really get a lot of value out of it. And compared to the other options that I'm going to go through, $45 is the cheapest. And you're getting a one-on-one kind of Google Chat, Zoom type portfolio review. So you're talking to the person. And I don't know if it's different people all the time or if it's always just this one person. When I had this portfolio review at 3x3, it was Charles Hively. I think he's the guy behind the whole magazine and the organization that is 3x3 magazine. And yeah, so I mean, he's a very experienced person and will give you his own professional expertise and advice in your portfolio review. So this is the only one that I've actually had experience with. And I can tell you that it was basically, I had to get, I think, 5 or 6 pieces that I wanted critiqued. It wasn't like an all-out portfolio review where it was like going to go through all my work that I've ever posted. It was like, no, bring 5 pieces that you want to have critiqued, and we'll go through them one by one in a PDF. So they really want you to prepare beforehand and be decisive, which is really hard. Sometimes you want someone to just look at all of your work and give you a full rundown of everything. You want them to see the big picture, the full story. And unfortunately, with this kind of review, a portfolio review, you're not going to have that luxury. You might get some more flexibility around that with the other two. I don't know. I haven't done them. It is something maybe worth looking into the details and just digging into the links a little bit more. So that's the 3x3 portfolio review. And so the next one is the business of illustration. Again, the next 2 links are the kind of the same websites that I had for the mentorship. So I had the business of illustration and the illustration department, but let's just look at each of these in terms of what they offer for simple portfolio reviews. Just wait for this page to load up. While that's loading up, I'll just say, well, first I'll say thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your attention. And as always, a like is a great way of just showing your support for this channel and helping this video specifically get boosted in the algorithm. And please be sure to subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications. And that way you'll know every time I post a video. But enough about that. Here we are at the Business of Illustrations one-on-one consultations. So this is one-on-one consultation. I meant to link, I need to fix this link. I meant to link out to the portfolio reviews page here. So as you can see, this is a big jump up in price from $45 at 3x3. It's $125, I'm assuming US, for a 1 hour review. So you got a full hour of this person's time. And again, this is, I believe his name is Neil Schwab. And I'll just kind of click open here. Yes, Neil Schwab, a New York-based illustrator, designer, author, and educator. You know, he's worked for some pretty reputable clients like Google, Adult Swim, and the New York Times. So you're getting someone who's in the industry, and you're going to get some pretty quality feedback just based on that bio. So yeah, it's just a 1 hour review, and he says he'll give you his opinion of your art and your website and discuss any potential areas of improvement. And he says that afterward, you'll have a clear idea of where your illustrations stack up and what steps you can take to bring your portfolio to a more professional and commercial level. So that's great. It looks like he's giving you some actionable steps and advice beyond just his impressions of your portfolio. So that's the Business of Illustration portfolio. I'm having a hard time saying that word, portfolio review. Okay, so the last portfolio review we're going to look at is the illustration department. So back over to their website. Now, they're pricing their 1 hour portfolio review session at the same fee, $125 US. And again, this is a one-on-one portfolio review with Giuseppe himself. And Giuseppe, as we saw before, is a New York-based illustrator, also has worked for reputable clients and has a lot of experience within the publishing industry. And so, yeah, you get this hour to receive a portfolio review and identify areas of strength as well as weakness, or what he says, areas that need further improvement. And he'll discuss best practices when building a portfolio. I think that's super helpful information for anyone trying to make sure they're representing themselves in the best way possible. And then he's going to give you in-depth technical advice on the medium of your choice, which is kind of cool. Like, it sounds like he has an understanding of different media and even styles. So things like what if you want to use painting as your medium, or if you want to use Illustrator, he'll probably give you some tips and tricks just to dive deeper within that tool of your choice, or that medium of your choice. And again, he's going to give you the next steps on your journey as an illustrator. This is a lot like the Business of Illustration, where they're going to give you some actionable steps that you can take as a result of your 1 hour session, which I think is really important. So that's their 1 hour portfolio review at the illustration department. Just one more little bit before I sign off today is they do offer at the illustration department an emailed portfolio review for half the cost of their kind of full face-to-face interview. This one is $75, and it's an emailed portfolio review. So it's a recorded audio video portfolio. And I guess here's how they describe it. Our emailed portfolio review is a simple, timely way to hear from an industry veteran and to take that next step on your creative journey. All meetings are conducted through Google Meet. It seems to me that they may need to update the wording here, actually, because if it's happening through Google Meet, it's not emailed. It's live. So maybe something to flag to Giuseppe here, but I think it's what it sounds like. You're emailing a pre-recorded video of, or maybe what, I'm finding out now that I actually don't know much about this emailed portfolio review. And I thought it was at first glance, I thought it was like you email them your portfolio and they write back kind of a critique that's written out, maybe as an email. And then now it seems that you'll probably send your portfolio or send a link to your portfolio, however that goes. And then they'll record their reaction to your, to your work and their advice and all that, just in a pre-recorded thing and send it to you. So there's less interaction and you can't ask questions as they go through. So that's really the value you're losing by paying less. You're not getting that ability to ask questions and follow up with some of the things that can naturally happen in the context of a face-to-face review. Now, I'll say, like, if you look at the difference in cost between a mentorship and a portfolio review, bang for buck, you're going to get more out of a mentorship. Like for a 3-month membership mentorship at $500, that's like three sessions for $100 each, whereas the portfolio review session at the illustration department, for instance, was $125. So you're saving $125 in that sense, right? Another advantage of going with the mentorship is you're going to go deeper, and you're going to be able to be more holistic about leveling up, getting better. So it's not just about your portfolio, but about how you're going about making what's going into your portfolio. It's about how you're springboarding from your portfolio into self-promotion. And you'll probably get advice about like how to contact art directors and stuff like that. So for $500, when you consider that, I don't know, you could make $500 as a professional illustrator, making 1 or 2 very simple illustrations for a magazine, for instance. I'd say it's personally, I believe it's good value. And of course, that jump from $125 to $500 could be just too much for people, in which case it's still super worth it to get a portfolio review. Getting the advice of a professional on your work is invaluable. It's scary as heck. It could probably ruin your week for a while. It could ruin your week just based on like, you're feeling good about your work, you bring it, and then you kind of get shredded. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay. If your mindset is to grow and to learn, whether it's from good news or bad news, if your mindset is, I accept the challenge and I'm going to go and do this and get better, then go and do that. Be bold, be brave, take that step, take that chance and get a portfolio review. And like I said, for now, I'm not providing any portfolio reviews or mentorships at this time. I'm focusing on my Skillshare classes as the best way for me to pour myself and what I know and all that good stuff into one meaty class. And anyway, the classes that I make are all on Skillshare. You can actually find them just through my link, tomfroese.com/teaching. You can see it here on the screen, and I'll leave some links in the show notes. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.